keeps walking, spreading his magic. Evil powers disappear. Demons worry when the wizard is near. Never talking, just keeps walking, spreading his magic. Evil powers disappear. Demons worry when the wizard is near. He turns tears into joy. Everyone's happy when the wizard walks by. Never talking, just keeps walking, spreading his magic. Welcome to another bloody, horrible, terrible, pitiful, pathetic episode of the apocalypse. And quite a choice, choosing the apocalypse. I forgot my glasses this evening. I just remembered that. Oh well, I don't feel like getting them. Anyway, it's nice when you get on camera and you didn't intend to go on camera that way. You know, like having your pants off or something. I imagine some people have probably done that. Didn't some guy named Tubin or something get caught on like a video chat after he thought it was over and he was doing some stuff he shouldn't have been doing? Anyway, this ain't that bad at least. Thank God. Praise Jesus. It's a miracle. Anyway, not a wise choice choosing the apocalypse. And since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a bloody guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guy, your humble guy, Nicholas. Let us walk through the horrors together. So many bloody abominations, so little bloody time. My God, the amount of things said and done today. Again, we're in the era of evil is good and good is evil, and you can say any idea out loud, including concentration camps, and people are like, okay, whatever. That's where we at. But let's start with this. Trump signs executive orders to fast-track data center construction, target woke AI, all the way back before the election. Let's go all the way back. Months before. I started hearing about this guy named Dugin in Russia. And he's basically just a sociopath. That's all he is. Nothing special. And he wrote a manifesto about Trumpo-futurism, AI is the future, and we must make sure the AI isn't woke. What was he saying? In essence, we need to make AI in our image the Nazi, misogynist, satanic thing we're doing. We have to make sure the AI is, in line with that. We're both on the same page. We can't have people out there getting actual real information. Only Reich approved. So Mr. Dugan wrote that manifesto, so that told us all what the plan was, because Putin's a Nazi, Donnie's a Nazi, Leon, Thale, so many of them. You would think Nazism isn't that popular, but what it really is Satanism. That's really what they're doing. Whether they acknowledge that or not, understand that or not, and I know some of them do. They know exactly what I'm talking about right now. No need to go into detail. Satan is right on the shoulder of every Nazi. Everyone who really believes in the ideology, or at least lives it, acts it out. That's what you're witnessing before your eyes. People that believe in Nazism, eugenics, transhumanism, putting people in camps. And I know Alex Jones said it was the liberals. Well, you're stupid for watching Alex Jones and taking him seriously. He was a snake oil salesman who did the WWF Act on you every day. Then he got sued for $1 billion and lost. Now he's scrambling for friends. His friends are the Russians, Dugan, the white supremacists, Donnie. He's hoping to get a handout from all those people. What am I trying to say before I digress too much? Again, this AI agenda is front and center no matter what you hear every day. The Bitcoin, Donnie coin thing, that's front and center. That's never going away. The Israel-Gaza thing that Donnie has plans for, not going away, no matter what Epstein shit is being thrown around. All of these agendas, the image, the AI, and we must manipulate AI like Leon has been doing. I kept showing you this over and over, how Leon has manipulated Grok and gotten caught red-handed, turned him into a flat-out like Nazi, literally preaching Hitler, saying he would worship Hitler if Hitler, if they worshipped a deity, Grok, the AI himself. Someone put that into the AI. It didn't come up with that. It wasn't a miracle from Satan, that it said those things. It was just Leon putting himself into Grok. It went that far, son. And then he has the audacity to say out loud, because these kids, Thale and Leon, they're from apartheid South Africa, which Nazism was a big part of that culture in certain areas, if not all of it. So they think it's normal. They think it's so normal that Leon says there's got to be a middle ground between Mecha Hitler and being a woke libtard. You mean between telling the truth and not being too obvious with your Nazism? That's what you mean, Leon. But it's too late. All of us with at least 2 brain cells out here that are not sociopaths, we watched you throw up a Nazi fucking salute. Okay? Let's not pretend it was something else. We don't have to be cute with it. Don't preach that it wasn't, son, because you're just preaching Satan. That's all you're doing. We all saw what we saw. Just like on J6, we know what we fucking saw. Despite what you preaching. Don't matter to the man what you preaching. That ain't going to save your ass. So again, this AI thing, they can't have it woke. They got to make it in their image. And this image thing is a huge component to the story. That's what bothers me. That's why I'm here so tired I forgot to put on my glasses. This shit is front and center. Don't ever think it's going away. The Gaza plans, they're not going away. The annexation plans are not going away. More camps. Yes, it's going to go full Reich. And you're being isolated for that. They got big fucking plans for this AI thing. Donnie is all about it. And I'm not just saying that to be dramatic. Orders to fast track data center construction. I told you it's not going to take 10 years to get to that dystopia. It's going to be a lot faster than we all think. Donnie with the interview questions today, my God, at the White House, wherever the fuck he was. Jesus. Are you ready? Do you maintain that you did not write a letter for Jeffrey Epstein's birthday? Trump. Somebody could have written a letter and used my name. Son, do you believe that? Even if you're a rube, even if you're hardcore MAGA, you got a fucking MAGA flag flying on your front lawn. You know damn well that ain't true, son. You know the letter's real. The Wall Street Journal, a Rupert Murdoch-owned paper, would not publish that on Donnie unless they knew it was real. Because they know Donnie sues everybody. So Donnie's saying someone must have written it and put his name on it. That's where the story is, son. That's what your Messiah is saying. Your upright dictator king that you're looking for. Here's the reporter again. Same thing, same. Take a look. Donnie in all his glory. Would you consider a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell? Remember, this is Epstein's girlfriend who recruited the girls and went through the whole thing with him. And, yeah. I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I haven't thought about. He's thinking about it every second. He writes whole thesis-length posts about it. None of that's true. He thinks about it every second. He's always trying to deflect away from it. He's bringing up everyone's name he can think of, throwing them under the bus. Meanwhile, he was Jeff's best fucking friend. Literally. Now, I'm not, again, not being dramatic, and I'm not saying it because I don't like him or I don't like you. Ex-girlfriends in a situation, I've literally said this on the news recently. That, yeah, they were best friends, yeah. So no one can say, leave this bullshit at the door, trying to say, oh, he's innocent, he broke the friendship off when he found out. No, they were friends for like a decade, man. Best friends. You heard the letter. That was real, and you know it. Wall Street Journal wouldn't have printed it otherwise. Again, his answer to considering a pardon, he's lying about thinking about it because that's all he thinks about, and we know this. I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I haven't thought about. Like a child, I'm allowed to do it. He knows it's wrong. Everyone knows it's wrong. Everyone knows it's evil. Everyone knows there's Satan all over it. Everyone knows Donnie's hiding his own ties. I'm allowed to do it like a 3-year-old. Well, even though you're allowed to do it, maybe you shouldn't pardon the sex trafficker. Just a thought, Rubes. Jesus people, patriots, MAGA folk out there. You were all about the little children's for like 20 years, 30 years. I saw all over social media. Where are you at now? This is your boy. This is your Messiah. What the fuck? He's giving the game away big time again every day. It's all he thinks about. This is killing him, and everyone can see it. Again, I told you, Donnie's not good at hiding his emotions, schemes, ideas, crimes, etc. He'll say them out fucking loud. And we just go about our business as if he didn't say it or do it. I'm allowed to do it, says the convicted felon about the sex trafficker he used to be a customer for. Wow. MAGA, you've reached heights I could not have imagined of depravity, of support for abject evil. Again, another question from a reporter. How do you think the presidential immunity ruling applies to Barack Obama and what you're accusing him of doing? Trump, it probably helps him a lot, but it doesn't help the people around him at all. He's done criminal acts. No question about it. Obama owes me big. What is he saying? I'm going to arrest your wife or something? What's he fucking saying here? Obama owes me big. No, he owes Obama. You know why? Obama's the only reason a carnival barking con man that was always seen as a joke by the world was all of a sudden being taken seriously. In other words, what I'm trying to say, Rubes, is if there wasn't a black man as president for 8 years, Donnie would not have happened. And we all know it. The springboard for Donnie was racism, hatred for that. I mean, what I saw in that 8 years that we had a black president, the way that man was attacked, it was vicious, man. The people could not contain themselves. There was a real hatred there. That was Donnie's springboard to where he's at now, antichrist superstar. Literally. He should thank Obama every day for this grift he's got going a second fucking time. He should thank Barack Obama every day, get down on his knees, say, thank you, Barack. I'm so glad you were president for 8 years. If not for you, I'd still be a joke, bankrupt casino owner with a half-assed reality TV show. Again, he should be kissing Obama's ass. He should be loving the man, because Donnie wouldn't have happened otherwise. And this is the grift Donnie was looking for since the early 80s, son. He was thinking about being president. Talking about it, thinking about it. Trump on Epstein again, the same in front of the helicopter. They got a bad shot, though, not quite of him. For this piece of audio, you should focus on Clinton. You should focus on the president of Harvard, the former president of Harvard. You should focus on some of these hedge fund guys. I'll give you a list. Donnie going to rat people out now. These guys lived with Jeffrey Epstein. I sure as hell didn't. Donnie's like, I'll take everybody down with me. Wow. It's a good thing he's president, huh? He's making some powerful enemies right here with this kind of talk. Good thing he's president. Anything to get the attention off of him. I mean, what do you hear here? What I just read to you? A scared little boy pointing at everything and everyone. Just don't look at me. Look at the squirrel. Don't look at me. What are you talking about? I got nothing to do with it. Meanwhile, he was Jeff's best friend. I'll give you a list, the rat Donnie says. What do you think, fellow mobsters out there? This is Donnie on Gaza, same interview. Hamas didn't really want to make a deal, so there goes the Men of Peace Act that we saw hoping to get the Nobel Peace Prize. I guess he realized he wasn't getting it. Or the agenda, which I think will happen fairly quickly in the next few years, is too important to waste any more time on trying to get a Nobel Peace Prize. They're back to the original plan, him and Netanyahu. What you saw in that commercial, they're back at that moment. The gold statues, the resort, him and Netanyahu chilling on the pool deck. Gazans are wiped out, gone. Gaza is ash. And they're about to start building. That's where it's at. And I'm hearing 400,000 Gazans dead. I don't know if that number's true. I'm real skeptical about what comes out from the Hamas side of things, because I've been following politics a long time and a lot of lies have come from that side. But if anywhere near that number is true, It's pretty fucking bad, and I think you can stop now. Like I said before, just do whatever you're gonna do. Move them somewhere else, whatever you get. There's no more need to bomb and kill people. It's ash now. What are we doing? What's the point? And if 100,000 people at the very least are dead, I think you've made your point, and you can stop now. That's what I'm trying to say. I think they want to die. They're going to have to finish the job. He's talking about the Israelis, not Hamas. They're going to have to fight, and they're going to have to clean it up. You're going to have to get rid of it. That's the antichrist talking about your holy land. Why isn't every Muslim country rioting right now? So one more time, so you know where we're at. We're back to the commercial where Leon's eating food by himself, gold Donnie statues, little children's running through the cave to see the resort and the beach as if they'd be allowed on it. Money falling from the sky, the whole bullshit thing. The thing was so evil, my God, the evil leapt off of it every time I view it. I haven't viewed it in a while, but I think everyone needs to go back and watch that to really understand what the fuck we're dealing with here. It doesn't make any fucking sense logically. There must be something more to it, is what I'm saying, than just politics, just logic, just normal people. No, these people are insane. These people are the Georgia Guidestones personified. What is Donnie basically saying here? We got to go in there, kill everybody else, clean it up, start building. That's basically what he's saying. We have to get rid of it. Again, I know Joe Biden and Kamala, you may have not liked their Israel policy, but we all tried to warn you. You get Bibi's best friend in there, man. Forget about it. I'm seeing posts every day that the Gazans, whoever's left there, they're basically starving to death. Again, I look at that with a skeptical eye. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying I'm careful with information that comes from Hamas direction. It would make sense, though, logically, when you think about what's going on. The bombings, the attacks. Palestine doesn't have anything to contend Israel's military whatsoever. Gaza doesn't. It's just people being steamrolled. I'm seeing a lot of reports of people shot going to food lines and stuff like that. Again, I don't know what's true, but it sounds like a lot of lines humanitarian-wise are being crossed. And you can stop now. Just start building, and round the people up and take them somewhere else where they can be fed and, not slaughtered. I don't know how else to put it. Because that's what you were going to do anyway. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what he and Donnie had planned way before we knew about it. This is the original plan. We're back at that point. No more Donnie Nobel Peace Prize act that he's been doing. I guess he gave up on it. Now it's clean sweep time. And again, I know you thought Kamala and Joe were bad, but this Bibi's best friend, you know what else he is? The Antichrist. I'm not joking. I wish I fucking was. Oh my God, do I wish I was. Trump on Epstein. Again, you ought to be speaking about Larry Summers throwing names out there to deflect from himself. You ought to be speaking about Bill Clinton, who went to the island 28 times. I never went to the island. How do I know that? He's on the flight logs like 7 times. How do I know he wasn't at the island? And why are we talking about Bill Clinton? He's the one that promised to release the files everyone said, okay, release the files, and they said, fuck you, they don't exist. Why are we talking about the president? Why are we talking about Bill Clinton? Bill didn't promise to release the files, did he? No, he didn't, but he may be in them. He may be guilty. I don't know, but that's for law enforcement to handle. The problem I have is Donnie is literally the guy's best friend. We know he's guilty by the way he's acting, what he's saying by the day. And no accountability for him, right, Rubes? Just go get Bill Clinton, go get the black guy, just those people, right? Arrest Adam Schiff. Not Epstein's best friend, though. Leave him where he is, right? I wouldn't want my name on that, son. I'm glad my name's not on it. Again, Larry Summers, Bill Cletus, naming people. High echelon people. Here, now he's talking about taking over a city again. Trump on Washington, D.C. We got to get the mayor to run the city properly. I have the right to take it over. I think it's terrible. Again, like a child. What is he talking about? The federal government sending the military in and rounding people up, homeless people. That's what he's talking about, literally. I have the right to take it over, like he took over California, like he's going to take over a part of your state eventually. He's normalized it. He's even saying it out loud now. I have a right to take it over. The only time the president has a right to take it over is when there's some like military threat. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or when they pose martial law, because, like, I don't know, I'm just going to make something up. Let's say there's a gang of 30 men with assault rifles going around just killing people en masse. Whatever, they're terrorists, whatever they are. Okay, the federal government say martial law and we're going to go in and kill those people and handle it. That's a situation where it's actually a necessity. You've done it for the right reasons. You've sent in the military on your own streets. Donnie wants to send in the military to round people up. What do you think that walk through the park was that day? Practice for military men and women to fan out and grab people, homeless, whatever the Reich says. That's where it's going next. That's going to become normal. You already have the masked men grabbing every Latin person they see, hoping to make 1,500 a pop on it, with a mask and a machine gun. Normalized kidnapping. No, they don't identify themselves. They tell you to fuck off. Masked men with machine guns. That's already normal as well. Here he is again talking about just taking over territory just because he's pissed off. Just because he has some satanic Nazi agenda of rounding up the homeless, the infirm, Dr. Oz, RFK Jr., the same. They're eugenicists. That's what the belief system is here. That's core to Nazi beliefs, eugenicism. I'm serious. He wants to send military men out there. He's floating the idea, I have the right to take it over like a fucking child again, because that's what we got here. So, again, he's going to take over D.C. with the military and grab homeless people because he doesn't want to see them. That's where we're at. And are you going to co-sign that, son? Are you going to continue to put your name on that? I know the concentration camps didn't faze you. And you know, the immigrants dying by alligator jokes. But how about this? Again, you think a guy that gets away with this ever stops until someone stops him? In other words, that military action that I can take it over, that'll happen in your state one day too. Hopefully you're on the right side of it, right? Right side of the gun. This is so dangerous, and it's already precedent. He'd already did it to Cali. The troops are still there. I think they took the Marines home, and they took 2,000 of the Guard home. There's still 2,000 there. Still troops on the fucking street. What does that tell you, class? Again, the point was putting troops on your streets and normalizing that, not stopping riots. Otherwise, those troops would be in their bunks back at the fucking barracks. So, obviously, it doesn't take Einstein to figure this out. The real agenda was an area where Donnie is displeased, sees as the enemy. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter to Satan's son. He deployed the military against them, and he's going to leave them there for as long as he feels like. So what does that mean, class? That can happen in your neighborhood too, just as easily. All he has to do is not like somebody no more. Maybe your governor, maybe your mayor, maybe a state representative. I'm serious. He's talking about taking over DC militarily and rounding people up. Again, not because there's a squad of men with guns killing people, because there's homeless people that can't afford a place to live, and he doesn't like to look at it. Do you know how evil what I'm talking about is? By the grifter who inherited 400 million from his daddy, by the way. By the convicted felon, the adjudicated rapist, defamer, fraud. He's judging homeless people. He's also talking using the military to take over another city. We way into Hitler territory here, son. We've been there for a while. The second the first camp got built or funded and filled with bodies. One more time, let me read this. We got to get the mayor to run the city properly. I have the right to take it over, and I think it's terrible. This is just a random commenter. A reminder, framing homelessness as a problem of mental illness or addiction has been politically manufactured to divert attention from its actual causes. You ready for the real causes? Skyrocketing rents. Because an apartment in the 70s was $300 a month or $200. An apartment now is $2,000 a month for a one bedroom in any desirable area. Let's say $1,800, $2,000. That's on the low end, by the way. I'm talking about in desirable areas where there are jobs. In some of those places, the rent's way higher than that. New York City, Los Angeles is probably pretty high. Down here ain't no cheap ass place either. It's pretty much one of the most expensive places in the United States. It ain't easy down here, let's put it that way, and they don't make it easy on purpose. This is a special area, though. Skyrocketing rents, poverty wages, gutted social supports, and to justify the removal of homeless people from public space. It's not, again, it's not the $1,800 apartment that's the problem, right? It's the homeless person that can't afford it. They're the problem. Oh, and what I just described to you, an apartment in the 70s being $300, $200 a month. That same apartment today, fucking almost $2,000 or $2,000 or more. That's called a scam, class. I don't care what economic, scientific term they apply to it that's fucking meaningless to me. I know what it is. It's called a fucking scam to get us to a certain place. And boy, are we there. And it's going to get a lot worse. And they want it to. There's a purpose for it. I think you can figure out what the purpose is. Here's a hint. For people to die. Because they think there's too many. They're Nazis and eugenicists. And I'm not exaggerating in the slightest. Literally, when you look up the definition, that's what they are. So yeah, the point is for people to die. When you wonder why would people do this? So they don't understand it. No, they do understand perfectly. They want you to die. That's why. Again, I'm not being dramatic here. There are people on this planet with all kind of ideologies, especially in the upper crust of society. They're exposed to all kind of clubs and occult activity. It's just part of the existence, I guess you could say, of certain families that have a lot of money that run shit. They believe in Nazism, the ones running things right now, Donnie, Leon, Thale, others. They believe in eugenics. They're not afraid of it. They don't think it's evil, blah, blah, blah. My point is, they want you to die. The Trump administration has been confirmed to have freed a triple murderer who they brought back from Venezuela. This is the lawyer, so don't even try and dispute it, son. In 2016 in Madrid, he hacked one woman to death with a machete, bludgeoned another woman and a man, then set fire to the building to cover his tracks. Okay, he sounds kind of fucking dangerous. Let him out on our streets. Deport the gay barber with no criminal record. Send him to the gulag. He's never allowed to leave. Now, luckily, he was exchanged in some swap with Venezuela just recently. But what he had to endure while in the death camp. And that was only a technicality. Everybody else in there, they're there forever, man. So a triple murderer is cool to be set free. The guy waiting at Home Depot for some contract work to do some drywall, whatever the fuck, for a low wage. He needs to be rounded up by masked men with machine guns and shipped to a death camp. That's where our society is at. Trump and Howard Nutlick claim Japan agreed to fund U.S. projects and give America 90% of the profits. That sounds real, right, Rubes? Japanese officials just said there is no written or binding agreement and profits will be split based on risk and contribution. In other words, Donnie made the whole entire motherfucking thing up again. Every deal is this. Every time he says he has a deal, I keep reading from that country that they don't really have a deal. You know how I know Donnie's lying? He's saying they're going to give us, America, that means him, he'll pocket that, 90% of the profits. That's an absurd number. No one would agree. That's how I know it's another fish story by Donnie. It turns out almost every single deal, including the one with the UK, it just doesn't exist, son. It's a joke. He just announces things like he's accomplishing things, so you don't mind that he's grifting every fucking penny that's not nailed down. Oh my God. Again, the second I heard 90%, there's another whopper by Donnie, another fish story, another deal that doesn't fucking exist. Trump angry about media revelations on his close association with Jeffrey Epstein. You should focus on Clinton. He's telling us what we should focus on and what we should talk about every time Epstein comes up for some reason. You should focus on the president of Harvard. You should focus on some of the hedge fund guys. I'll give you a list. A list, you say. I know I read that once before. I'm reading it again. Okay, this is about Hulk Hogan, and I was really trying to be nice and not say anything negative about Hulk Hogan. So I'm going to let this person speak. And here's a picture of the Hulkster in front of a cage full of other human beings, posing for a photo op with the American flag, as if this is some wonderful, beautiful, patriotic American wonderful thing. And Hulk Hogan just died. Now, what I have to say about it before I read this quickly is Ozzy Osbourne spent his waning moments doing a concert for charity that raised $190 million. Hulk Hogan spent his waning moments photo-opping in front of people in a concentration camp. There's a difference between men, and that's a perfect illustration of it. And again, this is a random poster. I don't know this person. I just thought this was interesting. For anyone out there getting all pissy because I'm making fun of Hulk Hogan, I just want to remind all of you that this is the person you're defending. He's posing in front of detainees at a concentration camp that's openly referred to as Alligator Alcatraz, or as I call it, Alligator Auschwitz. Terry Bollea was a lying, selfish, racist piece of shit who pissed away his legacy. I'm not going to read the rest. That's not the point here. The point here, when I was a little kid, I liked Hulk Hogan, but I grew up and I stopped watching wrestling, and I realized, he has a whole nother side to him. The point is to show the Ozzy illustration. How are you spending your life, man? Are you spending your life making fun of people in a cage? Or are you spending your life, raising money for charity or doing something good or just being positive, being helpful, whatever? That's the point here. And it's sad seeing Hulk Hogan do this, by the way. Because again, when I was a little kid, I liked wrestling. Iron Sheik, Hulk Hogan, British Bulldogs, Superfly Snuka, all that shit. I loved it. I was a kid. I didn't know it was fake. I didn't know nothing. I was an idiot. So it's disappointing seeing Hogan do shit like this. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Donnie is such a damn grifter. And since Donnie's raiding the Treasury, the federal government has given Americans the option to pay down the $36.7 trillion federal debt with PayPal and Venmo donations. Isn't that what your tax money's for? To pay down the national debt, in part? No, Donnie's raiding the Treasury. Fuck you. You pay down the national debt. Now, is this setting the stage for, I wonder, because they've already given the game away, that Donnie's already said this out loud. Is this setting up a way to pay the national debt in crypto somehow? I wonder. Is that the stage being set with this? Or are they flat out grifters and they're like, let's just set up a PayPal and see which idiots send money in? Because they're the government. They're already collecting taxes from you. And now they're saying, hey, while you're at it with the taxes, how about you just personally yourself make a donation towards the national debt? Even though we spent the money on our lunch stipend and hooker stipend, you pay it though. Because Donnie's grifting here. And if there's money in the Treasury, well, that's probably going to Donnie's pocket eventually. Or, or as welfare to Thale or Leon or Altman or, I'm serious. I'm not joking. I can't believe this. And a person, here's the image of it. It exists. That this is real. This is Rick Wilson. If Ghislaine Maxwell makes a deal and says Trump was an innocent who barely knew Jeffrey and was definitely not sexually assaulting girls, she'll be Epstein within a month. Loose ends, baby. I didn't look at it that way. That's a damn good point. And you saw what they did with Jeffy, right? So once he doesn't need her no more, I wonder what happens. That's a damn good point. She better be real careful. Once she gives Caesar what he needs from her. Look at Leon right now. Where's Leon? Oh shit, he disappeared. Don't worry, he'll be back. He didn't go away. But he disappeared. He was co-chancellor for a minute. My point is, anything can happen. Once Donnie gets what he needs from you, what did I always say about Leon when I was talking shit on him? He's the money in the room. No one actually wants him around. That's what gets him in the room. That's the only reason they want him in the room. So what was he for Donnie? He was the guy who financed his fucking campaign. That's what he was for Donnie. And gave him millions after that. He was an ATM. So Miss Maxwell, once she gives up what she got, well, she still has a lot of information in her head that could really hurt somebody. This may go south for her in some way later on once Donnie gets what he needs. You should focus on Clinton. You should focus on the president of Harvard, the former president of Harvard. You should focus on some of the hedge fund guys. I'll give you a list. These guys lived with Jeffrey Epstein. I sure as hell didn't. Well, you don't have to live with Epstein to, partake. Or be his best friend. Donnie really giving the game away every time he goes on one of these rants. But again, Donnie's a child. He's not cunning or clever. Everything on his sleeve. He giving the whole game away here. Look at all these names. I'll give you a list. I'll give you pictures. What do you need? Just don't look at me. Look at the squirrel. What have you rubes done? And this is another source. Venmo, PayPal users can now send money to the U.S. government to help pay down $36.7 trillion national debt. The level of grift. My God. And Donnie has coveted this presidency/grift since the early 80s. He saw it as the ultimate grift. I can lower my taxes. I can end all regulations on my businesses. I can be Caesar. I can be God, whatever. I don't even know what else to say about this. Would you like to make a donation to pay down the debt, even though you're already paying taxes for that purpose? Trump is now heading to his golf courses in Scotland for 5 days. Priorities, baby. Oh, and that's on your dime. You paid for the flight. You paid for the fuel. You're going to pay for the rooms at the new place. Donnie and his whole entourage, Secret Service, everything. Millions. So he can go to his own golf course for 5 days because the Epstein shit just getting too hot. Miss Bondi disappeared. Where the fuck's she at? This Epstein thing has them fucked up. And Donnie is a grifter, and he's just, he's getting his resort started with a lot of your money. That's all. Typical Donnie. 5 days, priorities. How's your rent doing? Mortgage, taxes? Kids' college fund, you doing good? You hoping the government might worry about one of those problems? Instead of the president going to his own course in Scotland and charging you for it? Whatever, to each his own, I guess. Again, another breaking piece of news from the same person. Ghislaine Maxwell is seeking a Trump pardon after second DOJ meeting per Fox. What are you going to say, Rubes, after Donnie pardons number 2 in the sex trafficking ring? Just so she says nice things about him in front of you and bad things about other people. What mental gymnastics are you going to do to justify that as right to yourself? And again, I thought you MAGA people were all about the little children. I heard Pizzagate coming out of every damn person's mouth, every Russian finance podcaster. What happened? You don't care about the little children's anymore? I guess not. You got your name on Donnie, right? DeSantis doing damage control from the Everglades detention center, saying the place is not meant to hold people, but rather transfer them to other detention centers. We know this is a lie. People are being held past the 14-day period in which they're allowed to be held there. I asked the question on camera a while ago. How long are these people there for? Can we get a fucking answer on that? Anyone want to ask that fucking question? No? Well, now we got to answer. They're supposed to only be there for 14 days, yet some of them are staying longer. In other words, no one gives a fuck. So who knows how long any of them are staying there? Eventually, I'm sure the stays will be quite extended. Kind of like Adolf Hitler did. Kind of like that. It's already like that now, but worse. Justice Department holding 100,000 pages of secret Epstein files. So the Justice Department already has a bunch of shit. Why aren't they showing you? Do you ask yourself that question? You know the answer to that question. You know Donnie's a pedo. I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. Donnie's talking about Gaza. It's getting to be that time. Trump gives Israel carte blanche to brutalize Gaza. And this is when he landed in Scotland, to go have his whole entourage stay at his resort, charge you for it, and pocket the money. It's getting to be that time. You know what that means? Again, back to the original plan Netanyahu and Donnie had for Gaza. We're all the way back at that moment. Watch the commercial again, where there's gold Donnie statues on the Holy Land. And you'll understand about what's to happen. You'll understand what's about to happen. I'm sorry, I'm very tired. So that's what Donnie means. It's getting to be that time. Time to finish it. Let's just sweep it. Let's start building. Let's get this agenda rolling. I told you, they don't have a lot of time. I can tell by how many things are happening at once. They on a mission. This is their moment, and they're seizing it. You better take it seriously. You're going to have no choice eventually. It's going to come knocking on your door. All of us, unfortunately. I wish I could say some of us are safe. We're not. It's getting to be that time. Trump gives Israel carte blanche to brutalize Gaza or finish what the original plan was. Trump now claims he was never briefed that his name is in the Epstein files. Yes, this is in Scotland. Now he's changing the story, and we'll get to what the old story was and what the new story is in a minute. Here's another reporter in Scotland asking him, did you ask House Republicans to not vote on the resolution about the Epstein files? Donnie, I'm not focused on conspiracy theories like you are. Are you kidding me? He rode the conspiracy theory base wave to where he is. He promised the files. And he's thinking about this every second of every day. He's really scared of this Epstein thing. They all are. It's driving him nuts that everyone's talking about it. I mean, they're about to pardon Epstein's fucking girlfriend. That's how scared they are. Of course, she may fall down the stairs after that, but, you know, things happen in life. I'm not focused on conspiracy theories like you are. Oh my God. Says MAGA, says the Reich, says the Fuhrer, who lies every 3 seconds. I'm above that conspiracy theory stuff. Well, you promised to deliver the files. Can we have them? No. Trump tells reporters to stop talking about Epstein, but if they do talk about it, they should talk about Clinton. And I've read you those comments already. Again, in Scotland, you're making a very big thing over something that is not a big thing. If you're going to talk about that, talk about Clinton, talk about the former president of Harvard, talk about all of his friends, talk about the hedge fund guys that were with him all the time. Don't talk about Trump. He said this out loud, son. He named about 8 different kinds of people in that statement. Just don't talk about me, he says at the end of it. Oh my God. Talk about these other motherfuckers and them fucking young girls. Don't talk about me, fucking young girls. I can't believe he says these things out loud and people don't make a bigger deal about it. Again, that's how I know there's something supernatural, something crazy going on with this. And again, Donnie, the little child giving the game away, he can't help it. A lot of people are asking me about pardons. Obviously, this is no time to be talking about pardons. In other words, I haven't gotten what I want from Ghislaine, and it might be seen as unsavory to be talking about it. That's why I'm talking about it. But a lot of people have asked about pardons very strongly. Donnie, have they asked very strongly? Because this is all a lie. This is just not the time to be talking about pardons. Well, he said it 3 fucking times. Again, he's got a psychological defect where he has to say what he's doing out loud and let you know what's going to happen and that it's not that bad. And, you know, I'm allowed to do it. I'm allowed to pardon her mommy. But, you know, later on in the day, he was in Scotland ready to charge you millions at his own golf course and pocket that shit. He's like, oh, yeah, let me give the, you know, it's too early for pardon speech for 5 minutes. And repeat over and over again, we shouldn't talk about pardons right now. Unfucking believable. Donnie's the only one talking about pardons. I mean, are you ready for this, MAGA? Your Messiah is about to pardon the number 2 ranking member of one of the most infamous sex trafficking rings that ever was. How are you going to explain that to Jesus? Welcome to America, where the convicted sex offender president is about to pardon the convicted child sex trafficker whose client he was. Literally, no exaggeration, no drama. That's not dramatics. That's not being a woke liberal. That's just the plain old, sad old truth. It ain't because she don't like you, I don't like you. It ain't because she don't agree with you, I don't agree with you. It ain't because up is down, down is up. It's just... Let me read it again. Welcome to America, where the convicted sex offender president is about to pardon the convicted child sex trafficker whose client he was. I can't believe this is my reality, our reality. This is existence. What is this we are witnessing? This is just 4 random posts. They're not linked together. They were just in the feed. It's really not supposed to be like this. And it looks like this. A few days ago, we were told there was no list and that Epstein and Maxwell acted alone. Now we are being told that actually Trump will release a list and that Maxwell is naming names. How the hell can y'all not see what is going on here? Yeah, the story has completely changed opposite what it was. 8 times. All of a sudden, a list exists. Again, these comments aren't linked. These is different people in a thread, not the same thread, in a feed. He's in the Epstein files and he's going to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah. And then the next one is Japan says there's no written or binding trade deal, so Donnie's a fucking liar. That's to show you that it's not one thread where the comments are linked together. It's a feed where any comment can show up. Based on, my traffic. What kind of traffic they see from me on the website. That's how they choose what to send to you. This is the inside of Donnie's book that he wrote, a message to Jeff Epstein, his best friend at the time. In Sharpie, it looks like, too. You know, Donnie, how he loves Sharpie or markers. October 97, is that what that says? To Jeff, you are the greatest. That's with an exclamation point. Donnie Trump. Anyone want to talk about Pizzagate? No? Hunter Biden's laptop? Joe Biden's cognitive decline? You know what Joe doesn't have? The Epstein-Barr virus. That's what Joe doesn't have. So I like Joe better. Fuckface. It's a simple choice. I knew the second I saw the Mar-a-Lago footage. I had always heard things about Donnie and heard what he said over the years about his own fucking daughter, for Christ's sake. But then I saw the footage. I'm like, they on the Pizzagate tip, Vlad, the Rubes, Donnie, back in 2015. And this motherfucker was partying at Mar-a-Lago with Jeff Epstein like they were best buddies, laughing it up, looking at, got a circle of women pointing at him who they going to victimize. Is you serious? This was back in 2016, son. Oh, when I saw that footage, I was like, my God. Donnie's all up in the sex trafficking ring. And MAGA loves it. The Rubes, oh, fuck it. No, he broke the friendship off. Fuck you. Tell that to your children when they ask you why you did it. Lie to them. Don't lie to us, man. You knew. Now you know even more. Now the nails are going in the coffin, really closing it up. Because Donnie can't help himself. He's a 3-year-old. And, this is kind of the proof, too, Oh, this is what Donnie said on July 15th. They asked him if he was briefed that he was in the Epstein files. A very quick briefing, yeah. So he admitted he was briefed that his name was in the Epstein files, Rubes, on July 15th. Then on July 25th, they asked him the same question. Were you briefed that your name was in the Epstein files? Because they already had gotten the answer on the 15th. The press didn't forget. No, I was never briefed. No. Wow, the complete opposite answer. The sky is purple again instead of blue. That kind of gives the whole game away right there, doesn't it? that he's guilty as fuck. He's so guilty, he forgot about when he told the truth for once, that he received a quick briefing. I don't know why he told the truth for once in his fucking life. He forgot that he told the truth that day, and then he gave the exact opposite answer. No, I was never briefed. That kind of screams guilt right there, son. And like I always say, the story changing is the mark of a liar. If you're ever interrogating someone, questioning someone, if the story changes, that's what cops and detectives look for. They know they're talking to a liar. Ghislaine Maxwell, whose sources told ABC News initiated the meetings with the Department of Justice, answered questions for about 9 hours over 2 days after being granted a limited form of immunity, sources say. And that's been confirmed. She got a limited immunity deal, the sex trafficker. So Donnie could get what he wanted out of her. That's where you're at, MAGA. You're riding that dragon all the way to the abyss, baby. You better get off it soon. Oh, this is regarding a trade deal between Canada and Mexico. They're trying to build a new trade route together that goes around the United States, so they can just deal with each other. They don't have to worry about tariffs and bullshit and the Antichrist. That won't hurt the Antichrist. Who it will hurt is you and me. Because Canada and Mexico are our most reliable trading partners right over the border, baby. With product, you want the travel time to be as short as possible, unless you ship it to an Asian country to save even more money. But it takes way longer. It's much more of a hassle. To have Canada and Mexico on both sides of us with all the resources they have that we need is amazing, and they're reliable partners. That's going to go away, and we're being isolated for a reason. Probably because when they go full Reich, they don't want us to have any allies anywhere. That's probably why. This is Nick Fuentes talking more shit. Not good, Donnie. Not that it's going to stop Donnie, but he's telling Pam Bondi to request these sealed transcripts. Why? Because he knows he's not going to get them, and whatever would be released would be nothing. It was an attempt to appease the base without doing anything. If you're innocent, why not release them? If you're innocent, why do you look guilty? He lied, the trust is broken. Well, I don't know why there was trust in the first place. Donnie lies as he breathes, about 1,000 lies a day. I've never seen anything like it. So I don't know why you would trust him, but the Epstein trust is definitely broken. If you had any doubts, my God, it's pretty obvious now that Donnie's in there, huh? Of course it is. This is about the gay makeup artist Andre Hernandez Romero. He was one of the people sent to CCOT. Remember, we got to see the footage of his head being shaved and him being brutalized, and it was all fun and games, right, Rubes? So he got shipped to CCOT, and he was never getting out. Somehow some prisoner swap with Venezuela happened, which resulted in him finally getting out. And this is what's being said. Gay makeup artist Andre Hernandez Romero describes horrific sexual and physical abuse at CCOT in El Salvador. Well, he was a gay man in a prison in overcrowded cells with some criminals and some other men that aren't criminals. So yeah, things are going to happen in those situations. Let's be honest here. And he's talking about it now, and the commenter, the person that posted this, they said, "We did this to him, this government, this country. We condemned him to this torture because he dared to follow our own laws and seek refuge here, utterly sick." Yes, a lot of those Venezuelans, it was a program There was a lot of shit going on in Venezuela. There were refugees. You're allowed to come to the United States and seek asylum. They decide whether you get to stay or not. These Venezuelans had protected status. They were allowed to stay as refugees for now. Donnie took that protected status away and then deported them. So a lot of these people, you're saying, deport them all. You're saying they're criminals. You're saying they're this. You're saying they're that. A lot of them are refugees that had protected status at one time. That got taken away by the Reich. And they got shipped to a death camp. Can you imagine going to another land as a refugee from a country that's war-torn, whatever? They let you in, they give you protected status, and then some cunt comes along and revokes that and ships you to a camp that never lets you out in El Salvador. Man, that's some evil there, boy. Again, son, I would not want to have my name anywhere near that shit. Holy fuck, that's a level of evil that's above normal evil. This is the White House that posted this. And again, this is how I know Donnie is who he is. Shit like this. Constant tribute this thing needs. Constant adoration. No one loves himself more than Donnie. And you better act accordingly. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how strong the man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly. They posted this about Donnie. Donnie in the arena. Donnie's never been in a fucking arena in his life. Is you kidding me? There was a time that Donnie had his chance to really be in the arena. And you know what happened? He came in with a note from his doctor that he had bone spurs 5 times. That was Donnie's chance to be in the real live or die arena. He said, "Daddy, can you get me a doctor's note?" So how dare they portray this person as if he's ever been in a fight? Give me a fucking break. The second the draft came around, he's like, fuck that shit. I'm rich. My dad's in the Klan. Give me a fucking doctor's note. Fuck this bullshit. What a fucking joke this is. But it's shit like this and the gold statues in the Donnie commercial, Donnie Gaza commercial. Tells me who he is. I would have never dreamed that commercial would ever exist. Or this, Donald Trump being glorified in the arena. Mr. Draft Dodger. Mr. Bone Spurs. Mr. Stage a coup and let everyone else do the dirty work while you sit back and eat hot wings. Unbelievable. And we end with this. The real message. He is the Antichrist. I know it sounds crazy. I know you thought it'd be a liberal. No, it was you. You made it happen. It's your boy, your Messiah. Donnie Shitbags. I'm just going to leave the image up as I do my outro. And again, when that mark comes around, when that Antichrist person wants you to worship the image, which will be AI, of course. Not the woke AI, the manipulated one that, Leon, Altman, Donnie are working on. And the data center's full of your information. When they try and get you to, take a microchip or wear a wearable, use that fake digital currency called Donnie Coin with the fight 666 on it. You got to say no. Otherwise, it's your ass. That's why I'm here. To guide those who have said no through it. But you're going to come to that real moment where you really need to say no. That will be the true test. You must say no, as hard as it will be, whatever it takes, whatever it costs you. And as always, people, if you'd like to help out, I'll put the PayPal at the top of the comment section. Because I put a lot of work into this. And this is history. I need to be spending more time talking about this. I wish I could. I wish I didn't have to work all day. But I do. Anyway, if you'd like to help, if you'd like to make this easier, help it continue, I'll put the PayPal up at the top of the comment section. And until the next episode, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Trying to keep the image up as I close it out. Oh shit, I'm blocking it.